Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. This is Monday Motivation, Empowerment Talk, and the rest of it. You can imagine myself and Sister Comfort here. We are here to actually celebrate today. I know most people don't celebrate this. I don't know why, but today, do you know that today is actually 20th of June? And every 20th of June, every year, today is World Refugee Day. It was inaugurated by the United Nations for us to celebrate, not just to celebrate, but first and foremost to recognize the struggles that they go through, and then the resilience that they have to also get through those struggles and be able to make something of themselves and recognize what it is that they're going through, the challenges that they're facing, as well as be able to find out what exactly do they need at the point in time where we are, or how can we support them, or how can we give them more support even if they've been having support from somewhere else before. So today is World's Refugee Day, isn't it?
Yes.
World Refugee Day, and we want to see how we can bring that into ONPASSIVE, because ONPASSIVE is one of the passionate, has a product that we call Oh Blessed, and this connects us with today's topic on having celebrating our brothers and sisters that have been refugees, that have been forced, whether through their own way, through whatever it is, war, whatever the reason is, to be able to flee their own countries and find, settlement in other nations. So we want to celebrate them. We want to thank God for their lives as well, because they are alive. There's so many people that are dead, but they're still alive. And because they're alive, we celebrate our brothers and sisters today. But even then, I want to today come from an aspect, because my sister here, Sister Comfort, knows more about this than myself, but I want us to look at it from the perspective of the humanitarian aspect of Oh Bless. You understand me?
Right.
So that's where we are. So for this time, I want you to, Sister Comfort, just tell us a little bit about what you know about refugees, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, sis. I would start. I would really begin from the very top, because a couple of weeks ago, you and myself were here where I just had to share my experience,
Mm,
and a few people supported me financially, and all of them were founding members of ONPASSIVE. And I got some money of about $200, which I spent in buying a food stuff. I bought some boxes of noodles. We bought this washing powder, and we also bought a formula baby food, and to for our refugees in Nigeria. That was all of that money was spent and bought stuff that could take care of about 5 families for 1 week. That was
mm,
really, we really do appreciate. We're still trying to come out with the pictures and make a quick presentation on what we bought. So
mm,
I really do appreciate. That was really, really much. It went really a long way. So whoever supported, I'm not calling anybody's name yet,
mm,
because I did not ask their permission whether I could tell people that this particular person supported me. But if there's
mm,
need for it, I'll definitely come back. Sure, I am coming here to share an experience, not because I am a refugee, but on the other hand, you can call me one, because right now there is an unrest, there is war in my country, where since 2016, people from my country, the former British Southern Cameroons, they are fleeing away from violence, and they are seeking refuge in Nigeria, in Ghana, Benin Republic, and other parts of the world. So altogether, more than 5 million people. And then about that number too, they are internally displaced, they're homeless, they're literally living in forests, and they are going through a lot of difficulty. They're going through a lot of terrible conditions that you cannot just imagine. Like I said last time, women like you and myself, they use moss plant as sanitary part. They harvest grass like this and use as sanitary parts because they live in the forest. Children are born in the forest. Some die because they get stung by snakes and stuff like that. People hanging themselves because of hunger. Hundreds of thousands of children who are unaccompanied because parents have either been picked up and they got disappeared or they died or stuff like that. So they go through just so much. And
mm,
then at times they face hostility even in their land of arrival and all of those things. So I think I'll just leave it at here. But if there's anything more that you need to know, I'll just explain why we're using this by case, because I leave it. But then
mm.
the case today we're celebrating every person who is fleeing from violence or from prosecution from home. Am I right, sis? Because
Yes, definitely.
this is case study now to say this is how all of these people feel, because I can assure you that if someone is from the Ukraine, they will surely tell you this same story as I'm telling about my people from home. So
Mm,
we think about refugees from
mm.
any part of the world today, because today is their day to think about them. So thank you, sis, for giving me the opportunity. If there's any other thing you'd like me to say, I would definitely like to say it.
Definitely. I'll come back to you on that. But what I want us to do is, just in a brief nutshell, generally just talk about what, refugees go through. Just a little bit. I'm not saying we elaborate so much, but
Yeah,
can you imagine people that have had to run away from war just to protect themselves, who have witnessed war, first class persecution, maybe some children that their parents have been killed right in their presence, right in front of them, and parents where their children are being killed right in front of them. So you
yeah,
can imagine the kind of trauma they some of them are carrying, and then they come into a place where they are expecting to be, to receive, empathy, and
yeah.
then they face, how will I call it, hatred, or
Violence or any kind of
any
resistance.
kind of thing. It's going to be a trauma again. It's like going through the same thing again in another way, psychologically, because they've
Mhm.
faced it physically, and then they've seen it physically, and then they've come into a place where they're thinking, okay, oh, thank God we are able to come in here and find somewhere to lay our head. And then
Mm.
they face hostility again from the people that are within. That is enough psychological trauma for someone is going through that. So this day is for us to empathize with what they go through. And I want my
Mhm.
sister also to talk about some of the things that they go through. For those who are listening and
Oh,
for those who have joined us, if you know anyone, just that is a refugee, you need to treat them with care and love and support, because they are coming from a place where, I'm telling you, you cannot imagine yourself being there. Even children right
exactly.
now. That is what pains me also about Ukraine right now, and any other person that is suffering, from, or have had to flee their country for persecution, for war, for whatever reason, whether it's genocide, it doesn't matter
Right.
what reason it is. So I want you to, elaborate more on that, and also talk about some of the needs these our refugee brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
face daily.
Sure, sure. Yeah, sure. There's a lot. They go through just too much. And I can assure you, I am sharing just a life experience. But this thing, if you go to Ukraine, they will tell you the same thing. If you go to Ethiopia, you will hear the same thing. If you go to Afghanistan, you will hear the same thing. Right now, you have many unwanted teenage pregnancies because, for example, since 2016, our children are not going to school. They get raped by these ruthless military people. They get them pregnant. Most of them are suffering the torture, the trauma. They're ashamed of even saying it out because they'll be shamed or they'll be beaten or they'll be, a lot is going on in children's lives. Why we share this is because it will ring a bell to someone. Oh my God, I just want to think about the suffering teenage girl, maybe in Afghanistan, maybe in Ethiopia, maybe in Nigeria, who have flown from the southern Cameroons, and all over any other place that you think in mind. We can really think about these people because there's a lot. You have mothers, you have situations where you have children who stand and watch, toddlers who stand and watch their parents being shot in front of them. It's not about their parents again because they're dead and gone. It's about these children. Where are they going to go to? What is their future about? What are they facing? You have, like, from many of the children, every day they report to us that, oh, 13 children just came in today, or one child just came in today who walks all alone from Cameroon to Nigeria. They just go, they say anywhere will be safer than being here because I can't face the gun and stuff like that. you
Mm,
know So they go like that. It's not like they have met paradise being in Nigeria. There is hunger, these basic needs like food, they don't really have. You know, they don't have food, they don't have basic needs like shoes to wear, clothes, pants, all of these things they do not have. Like the ladies I was talking, no pants. So like what we're trying to do, we're trying to, we know that we gradually will get to that situation where this is empowerment platform
Yes.
anyway. Our
Yes.
dream is to empower them, teach
Yes.
young girls how to get, you know, a good material and manufacture parts, you know, sew parts of reusable parts, teach them how to sew them, how to wash them, how to keep them clean and keep themselves clean, and all of those things, you know. So toothbrushes, toothpaste, all of those basic needs we don't have, just like any other people suffering from this. They need all of those basic needs that people need. Even water to drink at times they don't have. You have like those who are internally displaced, you have a small square room of how many meters, 30 people living in their children, parents, elderly people, and so on, living in one room. They need food, they need fresh air, they need all of those things. So the needs are just so many. So we're sharing this because why Mr. Ashmusare shared with us is just because of people like this. Because we have them everywhere in every country we live. We
Everywhere.
have various types of homeless people. I'm
Yes.
sharing the refugees because something that is coming from me. My people are going through that as we speak. My own little sister from the same mom and dad, she was pregnant and lived in an oven for 9 months in a cocoa farm. These ovens where you use in drying cocoa beans, right? She lived pregnancy for 9 months until she delivered. You know, too many. I'm talking of my sister's case now because I have her. There are people who don't have other family members, they have only themselves, and they're living in the bushes. So they just need this help, they need assistance, they need anything. So we do a lot. We have teams. Even here in the UK, we have what we call Southern Cameroon Women's UK. We have other foundations and so on that we donate money, we send there, they buy food and take to them. We have dealers on the ground who help us get the things to them. When they are sick, some of them, when they are sick, if you don't have medication, they really die. A lot of them die every day. Maybe just they need just Nivaquine for malaria, it's not there, and so on, and they die and stuff like that. So those are some of the things. Just any basic thing can help a refugee, can really take them a long way. Just like I said, the $200 we got, I can't wait to finally make the pictures and bring you. See how much food we bought. That was really much. And you see them really celebrating food. You know, they're happy, really happy. Yeah.
You know, one thing, Sir Comfort, that brings to mind is, you know, as much as we have refugees in all over the world, I noticed that refugees in parts of Africa, especially, I'm not saying that they don't get help, but they don't get as much help as they are supposed to get.
Sure, sure.
Just
That's
look at it
very
based
fast.
on what we're seeing in Ukraine at the moment, how people
Yeah,
open-handedly open their houses, open their some that had extra properties, you know, allowed the extra properties to be used and house, you know, Ukrainians. And
right.
I'm thinking, look at this, and I would want a situation whereby, you know, as Africans, African nations can open-handedly open their borders, not just open their border, but treat the people that have come in as refugees as they would treat the people in their nation. You understand me? As brothers and sisters, because we this is where unpassive comes in as an oblast, you know, the
Yeah,
humanitarian part, because we are going to link up with each other and support our
sure.
brothers and sisters and be able to reach out to these people on the ground, wherever it is, whether it's in Ethiopia, whether it's in Cameroon, whether they're in Nigeria, whether they're wherever they are, be able to reach out to them. And it's very important that our people get to understand that, yes, there is a World Refugee Day, which
Right,
I've never heard anybody talk about it. I'm telling you. So when
right.
you told me, and even I thought, ooh, so there's a World Refugee Day. I never knew that. It's not something that people celebrate and put on their Facebook, on their Twitter, on their whatever. And it's
Mhm.
very important because for what we are, the vision that we have via our CEO when it comes to Obless, this is the heart of our CEO, not
Yeah,
just with homelessness, not just with people not having enough food. And I remember Brad Tony talking about it. We children that need to have shoes, school
Oh yeah,
uniforms.
sure.
We have people on the ground that are doing some of those, but you can imagine they are limited in their resources. And because they are limited in their resources, this is where we come in, and ONPASSIVE comes in, and OBLESS comes in. So
Right.
let's talk about what OBLESS is, so that we have a better understanding, and our people that are, especially those that are founders that are watching us, start to, for those that have not started thinking about anything, start thinking about how they can. We know we cannot solve the problem of the whole world, but you
Yeah,
can
sure.
solve the problem of one family next to you. And if
Exactly.
someone else picks another family, if it's two that you can solve, you can
Yep.
solve it. Another person picks two. I'm telling you, to go a long way than for us to think we can solve the problem of the whole world.
I
And you
know.
see,
Since you know when you remember what the CEO says, he says you
mm,
cannot change the whole world, but you
mhm,
can change somebody's world. That is very
exactly,
important, and I think that we
very,
can do it because it's just for you to ask yourself which of these countries around, but they are all over the place. People are
yes,
really, really, really suffering. They're all
mm,
over, you
mm,
know. So the needs are really there, and people are looking up to people like us. And the
mm,
good news here is that Oh Bless is just here, and the
mm,
blessings are going to be like, oh my God. So it's just we're presenting this so that people can team with us, people can join hands with us. Like I told you, when I was joining on Passive, I did not know, to be honest, I don't know
mm,
about others. I wanted to make money so that I
mm,
take care of myself. It was just about me, myself, and I. But
mm,
then when the light bulb like came on pop up, you are like, okay, this is that place that I was looking for, right? My
mm.
vision has even totally changed. This is what we would call the total change of mindset, right?
Okay.
Because
Yes.
now my mission is not just refugees from the southern Cameroons. My
Mm,
mission is anybody fleeing from violence
mm,
or prosecution, because I
mm.
know exactly how
How
it
it
feels.
feels. Mm,
What about that? So it's
mm,
something that we can really do. We can do
mm.
that because I'm just like the good news about here is just like throughout the week we have been talking about digital transformation. I don't
Yes.
need to travel to Ukraine, but I can
Mm,
get to Ukraine. I can
yes.
reach out to Ukraine without going there. I can reach
Yes.
out to Ethiopia without going there. What
Mm,
about that? What if
mm.
we team up with partner and we go do that? I believe the difference the world will talk about it is
And it's not just that, but we don't need to do that through a third party. We can do that directly. That is the important bit, because then that means those people that really need the stuff that we have will get it directly. They will not get a third of it. They will not get one fourth of it. They're going to get everything that they need. So take, for example, with our Oh Bless, it's a platform that we are going to use, and it's a platform that gives you 100% of whatever it is that is
Mhm,
gathered, that has been contributed
mhm.
for that purpose. So take, for example, yourself and myself will decide, okay, maybe you have a family near you that is from Ukraine, and we have a family in Nigeria, or that are Cameroonians, and they've worked. Do you know that even in Nigeria you have people that are going through
Oh
serious,
yeah,
I'm not
sure.
talking about them being refugees now, but they are going through
Nigerians,
serious
yes,
poverty.
yes.
You understand me? So if you decide to do that, and tell me, someone contributes $1,000, there'll be no fees. Is the first platform, a crowdfunding platform that has no fees. So if we get 1,000, that family is going to get exactly one
And
thousand
more.
pounds. We
So
don't need to go through a third party that is going to charge us for this, for that, for this, for this, and then now they end up getting probably a change of that
mhm.
$1,000. So that
I
is what
always,
I'm excited about.
see, each time we discuss this, I feel so emotional, but I'm happy because I'm getting stronger each day. If it's me in the days when this started, I would cry and cry, but it doesn't help. I'm just smiling because I've got a family around. Anteline, thank you for joining. Thanks so much. This is our
Thank
guardian angel. She goes everywhere we go. So, so she says, "Oh, bless will enable millions to reach out to refugees in need. Right? Every penny donated will go to the cause.
you.
No fees, guys. Just like Sister Fumi is saying, what else do we want? So or what else do we need? We're going to have the time, we're going to have the finances, we're going to have everything. So when you think about it, to be honest, I'm just like, oh God. So I just feel like, Sister Fumi, you already know the plan here. I think if I'm sleeping, you will surely hear what I'm planning
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be a nomad,
Mm,
because I will just go places. As
mm,
long as there's no gun, no bullet running over my head, because I've got little ones to raise, I will go there in person. But if I'm afraid of one thing or the other, I will send, because you don't have to go there, but you have to reach out to those who need you, right? So
definitely.
so it feels really good, and it's such a blessing. Like I have a video I need to re-upload. I really need to rebroadcast or restream that video where I said, according to me, if I were to given an opportunity to change something on Unpassive, I would
Mm,
change the name from Unpassive to Oh Bless, because
yes. You've
that's
mentioned that
why.
before.
Yes,
Mm,
that's just why I am here. I think so. The CEO just blessed me. But who am I to be part of this?
mm,
Yeah. But then there is some people, like these people who are talking, that even if it is $1, they will still not afford.
mm,
That's why we
mm,
are here. It's not even because of us, because at least we can provide daily bread and the basic needs for ourselves. That is
mm,
enough. But we
mm,
are here because of those. So it's
mm,
all about,
mm,
So
mm.
let's hear what Auntie Lynn says. I'm handing over to you. So she
Okay.
says the topic today is a timely one. We all have a heart for humanity. Al Mufaria has led the way for us to uplift. Auntie Fumi, can you update about the contributions of last time? Because some friends supported us.
Yeah.
We're not calling names yet, but people have joined us. So do you
Yes.
want to update?
We just want to thank everyone that contributed the last time we were out, and the money has actually gone to support at least 5 families. It was able to feed them for a week. We bought some indomie were bought, some washing powder and baby formula went out to those 5 families that have babies and they have to wash the clothes, nappies and things like that, and they don't use Pampers there. They use cloth nappy, those ones
Yeah.
you have to scrub real well. So
All
they
right.
needed washing powder. So we want to thank those that supported during that time, and I thank also those that might decide to still support even later on. But that is what when the money went out to do. The money
Right.
has gone. You've sent that money a message. It's delivered the message, and all the thanks and all the thanks and all the thanks goes to God and to all of you that were able to support in that area. So apart
Indeed.
from that, I also want us to, before we round up, I also want us to look into um, some of the things that are beginning to happen as relating to obelisk. Like you said, you will change on passive to obelisk. I believe, when you have a business, there's a heart of the business. So the ticking heart of the business in non-passive is obelisk. You
Right.
understand me? That is the pumping area. And I believe, just like CEO have said, that you cannot change the whole world, but you can
Right.
change someone's world. And
Yep.
you don't have to have a lot, you understand me?
Mhm.
And have to have a lot for you to start doing that now. And for me personally, just like you, when you came into Unpassive, I came Unpassive with two mindsets, for myself and for my family, because I've been doing this. I've been supporting families for a long time, since I was
Mhm.
about 16. I've been doing this. So it's not something that how will I call it? I'm a stranger to. And I've
Yeah.
done that for years consistently, but I'm not the kind to come and start blowing my trumpet or anything like that. But I get daily phone calls. Today I've had a phone call. Yesterday I had a phone call from people in Nigeria that need assistance. And you see, it gets to a stage where when you've exhausted what you don't have yourself,
Yeah.
so where do you turn to? And that is
Exactly.
why I found Unpassive a blessing from
Right.
God.
Yeah, let me respond to Auntie Lynn. Yes, of course, it went a long way. That's why I told you that
Mm,
times you have something really good, but you don't believe that you have that thing, because you are just like, it's only $1. No, I told you last time,
mm,
if you did not free your dollar, this child will not brush their teeth. These children will
mm,
not brush their teeth. So $1 will buy at least 6 toothbrushes. right, back home.
Yes.
So it was a whole box or a package of food, washing powder and stuff, and they're really happy. I really do cry. I say, oh my God, these are people who have been fending for themselves, and now that then I would really do we appreciate because they themselves they send a lot of messages that I don't like to listen. When I listen, I just you feel really bad. But that is it, guys. We came up today because today is the 20th of June, and it's the celebration of World Refugee Day. So we thought that okay, let's come back so that we do this acknowledgement because it's long overdue. We were supposed to do these things, but we keep one thing keep popping up. And secondly, we thought that okay, today is that day. Let's make people know about it, and of course, and so that people will know that things like this happen. People will know that the help that they gave went a long way. So I'm seeing a few people who supported me, but I'm not calling names until I ask for permission. I did not ask. I cannot say that. I can't call their names in public because it's not allowed when you don't seek for permission to do stuff like that. But then you guys are heroes, believe me or not. You are heroes. Thank you so much, dear family in the house. Sis, would you like me to accept greetings for a few people before you go ahead, please?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so our sister Johanita says hi to us, and then somebody says can never be happy and proud of something in my life like what ONPASSIVE is all about. Yeah, sure. I will do my best to reach to as many as I can. Definitely. Sister Fumi, you know what? Because when you talk here, it's a very big thing because when you come back to think about homelessness, this is something very broad that you can say you look at it from there are various types of homeless people.
Homelessness.
You know,
Yes.
because I'm
Yes.
just like the moment I stepped into this part of the world where you have snow to deal with,
Mm,
I can't stand this man under the bridge or the
mm,
lady under the bridge. I'm just like, oh
mm,
God, no. So these are things that we can really do. But then
mm.
today, let me not take us out of the thing. I think I should hand over to you because we're discussing today only about
Refugees.
Refugee Day and refugees, people
Yes.
fleeing violence. Yeah.
Yeah. And that means across the world. So what I wanted to ask you is for you to, just before we round up, tell people that are watching and for those that will watch this later on, how can they, as we celebrate, this day, because I'm telling you, except you have been uh, a victim of war or persecution in any form and had to flee your country, you will not be able to empathize that much. And I
Mhm.
really empathize. I've not seen war, but I empathize a lot with people that are refugees. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't even have a clue why, but I just empathize with them a lot
It's a
because
sad
at
thing,
the,
sis. It's sad.
it's
Yeah.
at the end of the day they have to look for a way to survive. But the kind of resilience that they have is what brings me joy, because at
Yeah.
the end of the day you
Indeed.
see them, they don't want to be spoon fed. You
Yeah.
understand me? All the
Yeah.
given, you say, oh no, we need to give you the fish. No, they want you not to give them the fish all the time. They
Right.
For some time they can take the fish, but they want to be able to have that fishing rod, to go to the river and fish for
Yes.
themselves. You understand?
Right.
So what I want you to do is, what can we do? Just
Yes.
some little practical things.
So
As in now, how can we reach out to refugees around us? It doesn't matter where they're from, Cameroon, they're from, because it's
yes.
World Refugee Day. You can have a refugee from Siberia, from Ukraine,
So
from anywhere around you. What
right.
can someone do? How can you reach out to them, and how can you actually help them practically?
Yeah, definitely the basic need being basic needs like food and stuff. But when
Mm,
you think about the young girl, just say
mm,
the women, especially
mm,
young girls who are still starting life and they get into this thing of monthly periods, and then at some point you can't even just help yourself.
mm,
We're just thinking, but right now, I'll always take example from my case because I'm in it
mm,
anyway. Right now, one, because what we do is empower them. There are so many that you
mm,
can't afford to be spoon feeding them. And they too, like you said, they want that dignity. They want that
mm.
self-esteem that
Yes,
I can still
yes,
fend for myself in spite of, right?
mm,
So one, people, what we do, like in our case, we find out what can you do. There are people who can say, I can do street food, the number of puff and beans. You know, it takes $300 to start off puff and beans business, you know, and take care of children. You can design and ask for young girls who are interested in doing things with their hands. Say, all right, you want somebody to teach you how to sew and make parts, you know, produce sanitary parts. They will produce in mass quantity, you know, mass production in such a way that they will have enough to use and even sell some, because we want to get quality material, get a professional to teach them how to sew it. They do that, use for themselves, and why not sell some in order to have like basic needs? This can be done in any country, not only in ours. Children suffer everywhere, women suffer everywhere. They need all of those basic needs, you know. So if anybody shows up, or that it is at times, it's just to find out if you have anybody on the ground. It really does help. So we have what we call dealers. I think they really do help us. They ask at times, they speak on video and they send to us. This person say, I used to be hairdresser, or I'm still a young girl, I would like to learn hair and learn how to do hair. We pay for them to learn, and when they finish, we settle them by getting small capital, renting a place for 1 year, let them go and stuff like that. You know, right now, back then, one of the refugee camps, we are trying to raise money to get a machine that processes gari. Gari is gari is these granules that come out of cassava. So we use that to eat in various ways, and it's a kind of lifesaver in back home for students and so on. Everybody actually lives on gari. So right now we're raising funds to get this machine and plant it there, so that they will not only make gari for consumption, they will make so much quantities that even the locals, people from Nigeria,
can buy off them. Yes.
One sell, so that they can also make, when they recycle it like that, then it's a bit less of burden for us. And they too are busy and so on and all of those things. There's just so much. But then you have a dealer on the ground who helps, goes and penetrates those places, come back and tell you that this is what we need. And it does go a long way. We can do it in any country, guys. It's just wherever, what country you are from, or wherever you are, and you feel for a refugee in any part of the world, let us connect. Let's discuss this, because we are capable of teaming up and just doing just the right thing. I think that's the reason for Obless.
Yes, that's the reason for Hopeless. Thank you very much for that. Because I want us to be practical, because as much as celebrating World Refugee Day, I wanted us to know about some of the trauma that they go through, some of the things that they face, and also how we can help. And as my sister has mentioned here, you can see that we have, you might think, oh, I only have $200. What with 200? I'm telling you, $200 goes a long way to, it's a huge amount of money. Go ahead to use for any kind of, you know, how will I call it, project in Nigeria at the moment, or back in Africa, because, and that way most of our people won't be, how will I call it, it's like sometimes you have people that go in there and you know, it's not just rape physically, but rape them psychologically.
Sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment. You know, it's not just that, but also psychologically take what belongs to them and, you know, take it away and, you know, traumatize their lives. We don't want that. We want a situation whereby we can, you know, pour into our people, not just pour into them, but pour into them real good, just like the practical, you know, ideas that we have here. We want to be in a position to do that, because if you look at it, yes, they can drop food, yes, they can give them food here and there, but we need to help them to keep their dignity and their self-esteem as well, by making sure that we ask them, what can you do, so that they work with their own hands. For those that like to farm and there's no farmland, is it possible to buy a piece of land for them to, you know, divide the land amongst themselves and, you know, farm in it and be able to produce not just for food for their family, but also enough to sell and then bring back the, you know, proceeds to, you know, recycle and plant more. So those were the ideas that I had in mind, because it's no use we talking about World Refugee Day and we don't talk about what they face, and we don't talk about the problems they are having, and we don't talk about, look, these are the practical things that we can do. And a smile sometimes also, you know, go a long way. you know.
There's something really quick I would like to share, sis, because we need help from all angles. By we here, I mean any
Mm.
country going through this mess.
Yes.
It's not a
Mm.
good thing, right?
Mm.
Young girls who are being raped, they go through a lot. They don't want
Mm.
to tell even their best friend because they will
Mm.
not know. We have
Mm.
interviewed a few who managed to speak. They say they have children, they don't know who got them pregnant, and then others they did not get pregnant, but they are just suffering with it. They say I dare not tell anybody because they will kill me, they will laugh at me, they'll do this. But then we need trusted people, especially on the ground, right?
Mm.
Like counselors, like mental health experts or something like that, who
Mm.
can, corner these children because we protect their privacy and all of those stuff, just
Mm.
to, kind of, because to take care of their mental health. They are too small, they're
Mm.
young, and they're going through all of those. So
Mm.
all of these things, anything can help, guys.
Mm.
Let's join hands together and reach out to the world. That ripple effect. So I
Mm.
think Mr. Ash Mufare dropped a good seed because I can see it really going. So,
Mm.
like I said, the help that came last time went a long way.
Mm.
And we will always, the good news is when we are getting there, when we will do projects that will be proud of ourselves, right?
Mm. We
So,
don't want to stop there. We don't want to stop there. We've already started, and our CEO has already, put a seal on that. That you look, you don't need to wait for us to launch for you to do what God has put in your heart to do. You understand me? And we have already started, and that is why I wanted to encourage, and which you are doing as well. We want to encourage all of you to start doing something now, because let me tell you, so a wise man told me this thing, that if you cannot, a statement that if you have, how did he put it, if you have 100 pounds, I'll use it pounds because we're in the UK,
right,
and you cannot take 20 or 10 out of it to bless someone else, then there's no how you are going to have 1,000
yeah,
and be able
that's
to take 200 out of it to bless someone else.
right,
Because money has a language that it speaks, and when it speaks that language and you are not a very sensitive person, you will hear the language and dance to the music of the money instead of dancing to the music of the creator in your heart. You
right,
understand me? So we need to be extra careful, so that way, when we start now, we can start doing what we're doing now, continue to do what we're doing now. And then when, like you said, we have the big bulk, then we can go all out,
and do the crazy stuff.
do crazy stuff. Exactly, crazy stuff. Not just that, it won't be in trickles then anymore, but we
Yeah,
are going to, we are going to teach people how to fish for themselves, so that they can keep their self-esteem, they can keep their dignity, and their, their pride as well. You understand
right.
me? So thank you very, very, very much. I don't know whether you have anything else to say, because we need to round up now. Thank
Oh,
you to everyone that has come to join us, that is watching and that will be watching. I want to say thank you very much to Sister Comfort for sharing and bringing me on here, and she coming to share her heart as well, because that's where my heart is, and I like to put my money where my heart is as well. Just
exactly.
like yourself. So please, if you see someone, celebrate World Refugee Day today.
Yes, please.
If you don't, even if you don't have anything, pray for them, because we need to pray for them. Those are things that we need to, actually, look into, because you never know where you're going to find yourself. There are a lot of people that are displaced for whatsoever reason that is not their fault. You
Mhm.
understand me? And they've come a long way. We don't need to add to their trauma. We need to relieve them of those trauma, so that they can see a light of hope in their lives. You understand me? Do you have anything else to say,
Well,
Comfort?
if you want me to say something, there's always something to say. I just want to thank people too, of course. I really do appreciate. Thank you for you engaging in the conversation. You have all been there throughout, and people are joining and appreciating. So we appreciate. This is just the family that Mr. Ash Mufare has made. This is the family God has made, has created through Mr. Ash Mufare, and I think we are here to stay as a family. This is empowerment stuff. We will go places. These are just immediate needs. Long-term needs are going to be when we erect mansions, We build state-of-the-art schools and let these children go to school
And
and wear shoes,
hospitals.
and hospitals and all of those things. They are on the way.
Mm.
But then it's a matter of choice. If you feel that you can drop a $1, $2, $5, $10, we will still take it. We are never ashamed of asking, because we can always take it, because it goes a long way. What we had last time was up to $200, and we provided food, washing powder, and baby food for 5 families. We really appreciate so much. And whoever is still sitting on the ladder or the fence or ever watching, if you think that you're a millionaire and you don't need this, I want to assure you that this opportunity is not for you. It's for the people. The people in Ukraine, the people in Ethiopia, the people in southern Cameroon, those in Afghanistan, those in all of those places fleeing violence, prosecution, and so on and so forth. So you are getting this account so that your millions that you have, they are just enough for you and your family. And this account is to take care of these type of people. So we really do appreciate, and I'm really, really looking forward to Wednesday when they will finally nail it and say, founders, invitation link disappears from the back office. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much.
Sister Comfort, before you go, can you, if do you have a link for them, for those that can drop a tenner, a $1, £1, €1? Do you have a
Okay,
link for
sure.
them to be able to do that quickly,
Okay, let me
please?
just put it up there. Let me put it up. Yeah, sure. Last time I was really reluctant, but I put, and people, I can't appreciate it.
No, no, no. There's no reluctancy in this.
Yeah, so my email is here. For PayPal, I have only PayPal though.
Mm.
Is my
So if you feel led, it's not something that is compulsory. If you feel
no, it's
led to drop
not at all.
anything,
No, no,
please.
no, no.
That's why I asked her to put her details there so that you can drop, if it's $1, a pound,
Yeah.
€1, whatever it is that you have, drop it in there. It doesn't matter. It goes a long, long way.
Sure. One
Because
dollar, $1 can buy at least 6 toothbrushes. So if you
can you
don't give
imagine
those children one,
toothbrushes? We use
yes,
toothbrushes here and change them. There are
every
people
week.
that don't even have one. Some people drop it. They go to that friend's house, drop it there, and drop. Can you imagine someone hasn't got one? They will
Right,
have to break one of the sticks in the forest to use to,
right,
clean their, teeth in the morning.
right.
So please, if you have $1, a pound, €1, whatever it is, if you have more than that, do. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel.
Thank
Please
you.
click on the icon, the bell icon, to get notified of when we upload videos. So, and please click on like as well, okay? And share the content. Please share the content. Thank you,
Right.
Angeline, for reminding me of that. Thank you very much on that. Please share the videos as well with your loved ones. Share with those, for those that maybe probably have had, for refugees and situations like this. Share with them as well.
Yes,
Okay?
yes,
So
sure.
the details are there for you to be able to support this course as well. It doesn't matter whether it's a pound, £2, £1, $1, €1, whatever it is that you can support with. Please do that. And if we finish this program, whenever you're watching it, or you feel, oh, I watched this and I don't have the details, contact our sister directly, or you contact me, then I'll link you up with her as well. So as for today's program, we are done. Thank you very much, Sister Comfort,
Thank
and
you,
thank you
sis,
for
for
those
doing
that
that
have
for me.
come to join us as well. And for those of you that will be watching this later, thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. That is bye for us on Empowerment Talks for today. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. See you another